All right, guys. TKS, I'll be back again with an update on my Arrma build. This is the Big Rock chassis. And I've gotten a lot further than the last video. As you can see, I got my shocks in. I made a decision to use the 1/8 scale RC shocks. I got my axles in, as you can see. That. Nice set of axles. The same guy I got my Traxxas axles from. Of course, I'm gonna leave links in the description. Good guy. Shocks came from another good guy on eBay. Those are eBay acquisitions. Yeah, I want to say that. Got my center drive together. The big thing is this guy here. I just want to show you. See how that's a different color? Because I don't know, you guys, it's been out for a few months now, so but I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look into this. This is the hot racing slipper clutch assembly for the 3S line on Arrma. And it's way better than Arrma's, even their upgrade. It's just way better. You don't have to deal with that spring, sticking the spring inside the axle, the hollow axle, and having a screw in there and then having a nut to stick on the back. There's none of that. They've eliminated all of that. It's a solid axle. You don't need that adapter. That's what this, I was showing you there. You don't need that little red adapter to adapt your slipper clutch to your center drive axle. All of that's been eliminated with this. So that's, to me, is a really big deal. It's really important, and I was hoping that, you know, Hot Racing would address that, because that was a real weak point on this RC as I was finding out, going forward with the build and looking at a lot of the videos from other guys that have one of these vehicles from the Arrma 3S line. And yeah, what I was saying before with the Hot Racing differential yokes and things like that, you know about that. I already showed you guys that. I got me some aluminum pillow balls and, well, not pillow balls. I can't think of the name of them right now. Of course, you always forget when you're doing the video, and I never write anything down. I'm just videoing off the cuff. So it is what it is. But I got those exchanged, so I don't have those plastic ones in there anymore. Trying to think, what else did I do? Actually, that's it. That's pretty much it. It's like a quick rundown. The shocks are from eBay. The drive axles are from eBay. I did decide that I was gonna go ahead and go with the 14mm hex hubs, and I'm gonna use an Arrma tire. I'm not gonna use the Big Rock tire. I decided to go with the granite tire because it appears that most people who get the Arrma granite, they don't really change the tires right away. They wait until they wear out. But the Big Rock tires, I don't know, people seem to shy away from those. I guess because they're not as wide, and you know, we like to have a wide stance on our tires and stuff like that. But my ride height is gonna be a little different because of this situation. I'm thinking, honestly, I might go ahead, because I did buy some different shocks for this, but I grabbed the ones for the Vortex. That was my mistake, but it's not like I can't still use them, because I can just buy different shock towers, the different upper differential casings. I can buy those because they're a lower profile, and that'll fix my problem with that. But I got these too, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not, because I kind of like these shocks. But I have other vehicles. If I want, I can put these shocks on. I can move them over to a different one of my buggies or something like that, or just save them for another build. But I just really wanted to point out that this differential situation is it's the answer to that problem with the, I call it a differential slipper clutch, is the answer to the problems that exist with the factory Arrma slipper clutch. And I mean, you know, that design, I know you got to try to do something different. You can't just copy another company. But I guess Hot Racing doesn't have that issue because this reminds me of a Traxxas Hot Racing differential. That's what it reminds me of. It's like the same thing, only set up for an Arrma. And that differential is really good. So I keep saying differential. That slipper clutch is really good. I'm stuck on differentials because I was going to try to get a center diff for this thing. I was going to try to put a differential in here, but at the time I couldn't come across one, and then I came across this slipper clutch, which is what I really wanted to do. The only reason I started looking for a differential was because of the fact that the Arrma slipper clutch is honestly, it's overpriced junk. That's just the truth of it. And you know, this build is about finding out whether or not this thing is a money pit or not. Now, eBay has saved my bacon. These things, I'm pretty sure these shafts are gonna hold up because they're holding up well in my Rustler. And it's all of the motor drive is going to the rear axles, and it's all, you know, just boom with a slipper clutch in that, and it's holding up fine. So I'm thinking that these won't be a problem. They're not. The screws, I checked the screws and everything. And, you know, when I do my tests, I'm gonna check them again and make sure. It looks like there's Loctite or something like that in them, because it's, you know, it's something in where the screws go in to hold everything together. So I'm hoping that's what it is. And that these things will hold up to the abuse. No, I'm not gonna go 4S, so that should help a lot. The fact that I'm not gonna even go 4S. I just wanted this thing to be able to handle some jumps, and I'm figuring with the wider tires, the higher stance, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I know that's a good reason actually to go with the 17mm hex hubs, but that's a small thing that I can do. You know what I mean? When I start driving it, if I feel like the ride height is too much, I can weigh my options out. I can go ahead on and, like I said, change my differential top covers so that I can use the Vortex shocks that I got. Or I can go with the 17mm hex hubs and get extenders and just widen the wheelbase a little bit more and stabilize it out that way. So those are things that I'll look at when I finish the build and start testing it and everything like that. So that being said, I'm at the place now where I'm ready for my electronics, and I'm gonna go with some eBay electronics. At least that's where I'm leaning right now, because I really am trying, like I said, to keep this thing from being a money pit. And with the differential upgrade, that's a lot of money. That was a lot. I really am thankful that I found these drive axles on eBay, because that was like a huge difference. It's like it cut my cost for upgrade drive axles in half. And I got it all metal set up with no dog bones. You know, I think that was one of the best finds that I have had for this vehicle. Got my wheelie bar on here. I don't think I need to worry about an upgrade wheelie bar. This is simple, and I'm gonna keep it simple, keep it inexpensive. I could have got the Hot Racing center drive axle, but you know, with all RCs, you got to decide where you're gonna allow a weak point to be. You can spend as much as you want and prolong the inevitability of a breakdown, but let's just be real, everything wears out. So I figure this, I'll just keep it cheap, and this will be what wears out, and this other stuff will last longer. My differentials should last longer, because I have heard that the Arrma metal differentials, they aren't really that great when you start talking about running 4S and 6S, which I'm not gonna do in any case. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this. I'm definitely ready for my electronics. I got something picked out. Couple of options picked out, really, and then I'm going to decide what gear I'm going to use. I got this in my tool case. This is a 14 tooth. That's 1 tooth less than the factory, but it depends on what motor I go with. I know I'm going to use a 3670 can. I'm not going to go crazy and all of that with that, but I'm going to use 120 amp ESC. And I'm back and forth as far as what I'm gonna do with my servo. I did find an optional servo saver that I'm gonna try for a 25 tooth servo saver, because the servo saver came in here, but it's 20, it's in this bag, but it's 23 teeth, so I'm not gonna use that, obviously. But that's pretty much all I got to say about this. It's a new year, so happy new year to everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays and that they really had a blessed holiday season. I know that can't be said for everybody, so we pray for those who have gone through some things this holiday season. We can't forget those that are less fortunate than ourselves. I'm not going to go into a big long spiel about that, but that being said, I hope everybody has a blessed year this year. And like I said, that's all I got to say about this. Stay tuned. I'm going to be throwing these electronics in, and we're going to start testing it out. I'm going to get the tires, get them mounted, and we're going to see how this thing performs, maybe before the weather breaks. We'll see what happens. So this is TKS Hobby. You guys be blessed. Signing out.